Okay, so today I want to talk about roof camping and generally what it does to the game. I've been pushing this topic ahead of me for a pretty long time. I've been wanting to talk about it for ages, but never really found the right feeling for it. But at this point, with the XP system upcoming, I think if there's a time to talk about it, then the time is now. So I will go ahead and do so. I will just start by saying off that me and my mates, we usually play on a server for 1 to 3 days after a fresh full wipe. And after that we simply move to another fresh wipe server. The reason for that is that within this time frame the bigger groups will usually already have the bolt action and the 4x scope and the high velocity ammo. And that is simply like, it's fucking retarded. For the very simple reason that roof camping is insanely overpowered, but I'll get to that later. The early game in Rust is fantastic. In my opinion, the early game in Rust is so fucking great. Like if there were servers that only allowed like a mix of early game and raiding in some way, shape or form, I would only play on these servers because it's simply more fun. Your skill counts for something. It's not like like especially for players to play in smaller groups or even solo. The later on the game goes, the less chance you have to really use your skill and outplay, you know, the big groups, the big opponents. In the early game, you can just do that. There's like so many ways for you to outplay your opponents. It's insane. You can just headshot one with the crossbow, go back in the brush, wait for someone to pass by, give him one with the pipe. You have already 2 down and you can 1 with the 3 easily. And it's all about strategy and generally just smart gameplay. And the later on the game goes, the less that really matters. But like, that's not the topic of today. The thing is, as I said, bolt action roof camping is incredibly overpowered, and I will tell you why. You have absolutely no risk. If you roof camp with your bolt action, your 4x scope and your HV ammo, you have no fucking risk, not a single fucking thing. You sit up on the roof and you shoot down. If you die for whatever fucking reason, you know, maybe someone brought their own bolt and they shoot you down, you're just gonna spawn in your bag, go up, grab your bolt, sit on the campfire for a few seconds, and you're back up there. There's simply no risk involved. But yet, if there's a fully geared player running down there with an AK, and you pull off this lucky headshot, you get all his gear, dude. It's overpowered. There's no way to put it differently, and this needs to be nerfed. Honestly, it just needs to be. But how would you nerf it? That's the most important question here. How would you nerf this thing? Well, the thing is, there needs to be something done about this. When you sit on your roof in a pretty flat area, or even if you sit on a mountain, and you have the 4x scope on a bolt action and the high velocity ammo, you can like literally shoot and hit as far as the eye sees. And you can tell me that that's right? That you can just sit up in your fucking base with no risk at all. Like, literally, you have to realize you have no risk at all. Zero. When you sit on top of your base and bolt down, you have no risk. None. And, like, I don't even understand why they put in the 4x scope in the first place at this stage of the game. The game simply wasn't ready for it, in my opinion. But anyways, let's get on. Well, I have the theory, I'm just gonna say it. I think that maybe Gary allows roof camping to be in the game so that players have something to do while they craft gunpowder, because that takes so insanely long and it's so boring. But dude, that's like not the right reason. Like, lower the crafting times for gunpowder. I mean, groups are gonna have enough gunpowder. If there are like 5 players, they're gonna have the gunpowder crafted in 20 minutes anyways. So it's like, come on, just reduce the timers or something, but don't use this as reason to leave the bolt action in-game. Just to clarify, Gary or whoever is responsible in this department of development did not say that, but I think it may be part of it. Anyways, let's go on. The problems that roof camping causes are very, very obvious. Very obvious. Servers are starting to rapidly die out, starting from one day after the wipe, and like the thing where the player base really starts to drop peaks at around day 3. If I remember that correctly, that's like where most servers just absolutely drop down. There's from 300 server players I've played on, there are like 60, 70 people left after 3 days, and those are all the big clans sitting on their bases, crafting gunpowder to offline raid each other, which is a fucking retarded endgame goal in my opinion, and that also needs to be addressed. But again, different topic for a different day. Now, it's generally, roof camping is a very, very, very unengaging and genuinely boring playstyle, not only for the guy sitting up there, but also for the players on the ground. It's like a lose-lose situation, but yet people do it because it's simply so overpowered. That's something that I see in a lot of games happen that I have played or been involved with, that players choose to do an actively boring routine simply because this routine deems to be the most efficient or the most valuable, right? So there is, like in Rust, there's literally nothing more valuable than roof camping with the bolt action, the 4x scope and high velocity ammo. And as long as that's the case, as long as that's possible, people will keep doing it, and as long as that's possible, the game will not be as fun as it could be, and the servers will die out like before. As soon as people have bolt actions, like maybe the XP system prolongs this long enough so even smaller guys can have a decent base and compete with the big groups, but we'll have to see. For now, if there won't be any limitations on the bolt action, if so be, then servers will keep dying out within a couple of days, and that's sad, honestly. That's very sad, because I'm not saying that the early game is the only thing for Rust. The late game is fun too in its own ways, but right now it's severely impacted, negatively impacted by high velocity 4x bolt roof camping. Like really heavily impacted, and that's just something Gary needs to fix, in my opinion at least. That's why I'm talking about this right now. So there's going to be an exchange of opinions, an open discussion about the thing, and maybe the devs can drop in and see the perspective of some players. You know, I'm playing this game for the longest time now. I'm playing, I don't even know, very long. I have like 1,500 play hours, 1,400 play hours, something like that. I've seen the game get developed from the get-go, and it's just makes me sad, you know. It's such a great game, but I just can't enjoy mid to late game with all this roof camping. It's like you can't even get to your BPs because there is going to be one roof camper at every monument. Airfield is the first one where there's always one roof camper. I don't know exactly why, but Airfield is always the first one. And then we have, of course, the satellite dish, train yard, and water treatment plant. Not so much, but I think that's mostly because the monuments suck ass. Yeah, compared to the other ones at least. Red Town, there's also every so often one, but I think Airfield and satellite dish are the ones that are probably affected the most by this. Anyways, so I thought about how we could fix, or how Gary obviously could fix this problem, how he could keep the bolt action in the game, because the bolt action is a valuable weapon in the game. It's a necessary weapon. It offers strategic viability. I mean, it's a sniper rifle, dude. If you have played shooters, you know which purpose they serve, and the bolt action serves this purpose well. And outside of the 4x ammunition, what am I talking? Outside of the 4x high velocity bullshit, the game is pretty well balanced. But this one attachment and this one type of bullet breaks this entire system and removes the actual purpose of the bolt action rifle. Anyway, so how can we keep the weapon in the game and fix this problem? And I've read suggestions on Reddit. Like, I'm active on Reddit a lot. I read a lot about the game, read a lot about what the users have to say about it. But the suggestion of the barricades, dude, that won't do much. It absolutely will not. The thing is, how do I explain this? The main problem the bolt action poses is not to, well, not mostly to other fully geared players in the surrounding. The bolt action with the 4x scope and high velocity ammo, of course, is a big problem to, yeah, not casual players, but players who are either solo, playing a 2-man, 3-man group and aren't getting as much shit done in the first day. These are the players that are getting fucked up by the bolt action, not other big groups. So yeah, that's why it won't do much, because the barricades are probably going to be an endgame item that you use in active combat, back like in Legacy, which was really epic, by the way. I'm definitely for barricades, but barricades are not the fix to the bolt action problem, because what you're suggesting is obviously that you want to place the barricade down, right, when you're getting shot at with a bolt action. But the thing is, if you're getting shot at with the bolt action, you're most likely want to retreat, like generally out of the area. But due to the bolt action being able to shoot so fucking fast and so fucking accurate, you can't really run. Like, you place a barricade down, okay, you run 5 meters and then you're visible again. That's the problem that I have with the barricades, and that's the reason why they won't fix it. Because, like, imagine the tower where you're sitting on, it's an upward angle. He has a very high visibility on a straight standing wall behind it too, so the barricade won't fix it at all. So yeah, that's the topic. So the solutions I've thought of, possible solutions, obviously just random ideas, unrefined raw pieces of shit, but hopefully something can be made out of this. So the first idea is that Gary has to increase the fog of war the higher you are up. Now, if you've ever climbed a mountain in Dusty, you know how the fog impacts your view, and that's something that I imagine should also happen on player-made structures, because right now it doesn't really happen. You have this very light fog, but as soon as you scope in, the fog is gone. So that sort of kind of removes the purpose. But I honestly think that a really thick fog of war that comes closer and closer the higher you are up on your base could fix this problem and still enable you to defend your base from a higher position on your base. I think that would really be a pretty balanced way to get this problem out of the way, because right now it just can't go on like this. Then there's another solution, or like a mild fix I thought of, and that's increasing the weapons way the higher you are up. That won't obviously only affect the bolt action, it will affect every weapon, and maybe rightfully so, but well, I guess the logic could be that the higher you are up, the lower oxygen levels there are in the air, and that's why you're kinda shivering or not being focused, something like that. I actually like the fog idea a lot better. And like the last solution, and I think that should generally be in the game, would be that the bolt action should be very rare and the 4x scope should be the last possible attachment to unlock, simply because it's so strong. I mean, compared to what do we have, the other three, we have flashlight, silencer, laser sight and hollow sight. These are 4 others. Compared to them, the 4x scope is the sexiest goddess ever. It's insane how good this attachment is compared to the other 4 pieces of shit. So yeah, please, for love of God, make the 4x scope extremely hard to find. Make it necessary to unlock all the other attachments first before you get to this. That's like something I really wish will happen. Okay, and like generally this problem should just be fixed. I would be happy about any fix at all, because right now, and like honestly I'm curious how face punch or Gary, I don't know whom to address. I'm surprised that they haven't figured this out by themselves yet. That like this is impacting the game in such a big way. I'm not sure why, but this needs to be fixed. The 4x scroll bolt action HV combo is not fun for anyone, but people do it because it's fucking overpowered, and they will continue using it as long as it's as overpowered as it is. 0 risk, high reward. You would be stupid to pass up on it, no matter how boring it is. And that's why people leave the server after day 2 or day 3 or even day 1. Alright. Well, thank you for listening. This has been going on for quite a while now, has it? These are my suggestions and my fixes. Please, please, please open a discussion about this. Talk about this, share your opinions. If the devs get to see it, maybe they get a good idea, a stroke of light, and decide they will take on this problem and fix it. Alright, thank you, take care. See you next time.